right, here we go. Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert coming at you from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach, on the island. Super Bowl week. February's here. Olympics start. People think the Olympics start on Friday. No. The Olympics start today. Curling is in action over in Milan as we do start the Winter Olympics. We've got the Super Bowl. We've got a lot of hockey. We've got everything going on with you here today. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Happy Wednesday. Happy Winter Olympics. Wow. Well, curling.
Did you know about the
man.
curling?
I had no idea it was starting.
Did you know
today,
that? I mean, can we get this rocket here? I mean, Canada and the Czech Republic in the mixed doubles preliminaries.
Oh, no.
Sweden and South Korea, mixed doubles preliminaries.
Who's favored? What's
the
the
curling
line?
takes so much time that the curling needs to start 2 or 3 days before the opening ceremony. It's great. I love it. I mean, they get into it, too. They get down there, and they still got the curling league here in Long Beach, Tommy? They still... got rid of the curling league in Long Beach. But usually people watch it at the Winter Olympics, and then the interest just blasts right back up, and people will be banging down the doors over at the ice. Can we get a curling team in here? Can we get a curling league?
Let's be honest. Curling team is just a free vacation. That's
It's
all that is.
awesome. And I will say this, and this will be the first thing I'll say to start the week. The Winter Olympics are not just better than the Summer Olympics. They are not 10 times better than the Summer Olympics. They are not 50 times better than the Summer Olympics. They are 1,000 times better than the Summer Olympics. The action, the excitement, the drama. You've got the hockey. You've got the curling, the bobsled, the luge. These people are nuts. You see these maniacs who sit on that luge and go down. Where do you have in the Summer Olympics that's as nuts as those guys that go on the luge and go down? And then you've got the drama and the pageantry of the figure skating. I mean, what more could you
Now
want?
you get a little crazy, Michael. Come on now.
The Winter Olympics destroy the Summer Olympics.
I do agree with that. Yes. I do agree with that.
And the hockey.
And there's some big hockey going on.
First best on best we've had since, the last few Olympics. The NHL guys didn't go. These guys are pumped because you got a lot of stars who have never gotten to be a part of this before. The McDavids, etc. I mean, everybody in America's pumped with the Kachuk brothers going over there to basically be like Dean Portman and Fulton Reed and the Mighty Ducks to smash. I think they're going to go over there and bash everybody. I mean, this is just, it's great. And they're going to get all hyped up, and like Sweden's going to win the gold. You just know something like that. Finland or Sweden's going to sneak in and win the gold medal. With everyone is just craving for the U.S.-Canada to be the gold medal game, which would be phenomenal to end the Winter Olympics.
Is Mika's advantage out on the Sweden team, right? They're not going to win.
He's got no heart. He's had no shot.
Let's be honest. Canada's stacked. If they don't bring it home, then we got a problem.
I love the Winter Olympics. I am very excited that it's here. The Summer Olympics are a bore. The Winter Olympics are outstanding.
Like all the stuff in the track and the
track
running around
and field
stuff.
And the swimming and
the
all
shooting
that.
and
No, I want guys doing 110 miles an hour on a small little plastic luge on their butt, going down those hills. The bobsled.
Not into the rowing.
Not into the row. The dopey rowing. What just enough. You got to be kidding me.
Shot put.
Kayaking.
Yeah.
Please.
All
Danger, excitement. The Winter Olympics has all that.
All right, we're ready to go. Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Here. It's here.
Ready
And
to
for
go,
hockey
baby.
Fans,
All right.
Should be a lot of
And you
fun
know what
too.
else is here? Super Bowl 60 week.
Oh yeah, almost forgot about
Patriots and Seahawks. Santa Clara at the 49ers Levi Stadium is where they will be this week. And I will say, I'll start off with this as well. This is probably the least amount of juice and buzz I have ever felt in a Super Bowl week before. Now, maybe it's different for me. Obviously, my life's a little different this year during Super Bowl week than it's been in past years for Super Bowl week. I'll admit that. But I still just don't feel it, Paulie. Maybe it is because we don't have the big name quarterback. Maybe it is because we don't have the big personality coach. Maybe it is because we don't have the brand. I think with New England, Paulie, it's honestly because they were just here so much. And this is nothing against Vrabel and May and this new band of guys with New England. And look, facts are facts. Outside of Patriot fans, and God bless them, I know that they're excited. I don't think there's been enough time since the Brady-Belichick era that the rest of the country's like, man, I was really looking forward to seeing the Patriots back. This has got me juiced up. And the Seahawks, they have great fans, the 12s up there in Seattle, but the coach is, and he's an awesome coach, but he's got the personality of wallpaper. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't give you much. He's not an exciting guy, McDonald, but he's an awesome coach. And Sam Darnold, look, great story, but is he Mahomes? Is he Allen? Is he Burrow? Is he these guys that bring a lot of excitement to the table? He's not. And Paulie, it's Wednesday. We still got a few more days.
Yeah.
So far, where's the juice?
It's in the cupboard.
Where is it?
Left side of the fridge, buddy. That's where the juice is. So if you're thirsty, then go get it. I'm with you, man. And I think that's the general consensus. I mean, obviously, unless you're from New England or, Seattle, different story. But yeah, I think for the rest of us in the country, it's really not sexy. It's just not a sexy Super Bowl. And I think I'm in it for the wings and the drinks and the beers and the time with friends and family and stuff. And that's really about it.
And that's okay. And I think that, look, on Sunday it's different. When you're at Super Bowl Sunday and whether you're going to a party, you're going somewhere to watch the game, you got family over, it could but just be you and your family in your living room, whatever it is, I think you get a little bit of excitement then. I'm just talking about, I'm so used to there being a lot of lead up, a lot of storylines, and I just don't have it this year. Like, I even see a lot of my friends out here at Radio Row and say, even that seems super subdued this year. Like, where's like the spicy interview? Maybe it's because the business has changed and now people don't go till Thursday and Friday. Maybe we'll get some of that. A lot of places have cut back on the entire week being out at Radio Row. But like, there is just nothing to get me going about this game. And, I just hope that it doesn't spew over and the game sucks too. Like that, because look, the storylines have nothing to do with the game itself. When you get on the field of the game. But man, I'm seeing some ways I'm thinking about this game. I'm like, this could be like 23-10 Seahawks, and it's super boring. And I hope it's not. I want an exciting game. I would even take New England winning if the game was exciting and it was down to the end. And that's how bad. You think I want to see the Patriots win again? But this week has been so dull and boring with the lead up to this game that I need some excitement in the game because the lead up sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get it, Mike. And, that's the great thing about the first round, the wild cards, the divisional stuff, is you get all these different games, all these different storylines and everything else. And I think it's just primarily because it's the Seahawks and the Patriots. If it was the Patriots and, say, the Bears or something, it would be more exciting. If it was the Seahawks and, say, the Bills or the Rams,
well, right,
it would have gave us a little more interest because you would have had definitely mostly everybody rooting against the Patriots.
There's two things that are missing from this game, and you'd like to have at least one of them in a Super Bowl. Number one is the megastar quarterback. You don't have it in this game. There's no megastar quarterback. And the other is, it's always a great story when you do have a team that hasn't won in a long time, a franchise that hasn't been there in a long time. We already know, we've just said about the Patriots side of things, they've been to a ton of these. Mm-hmm. Even the Seahawks, we're talking 10 years. They played the Patriots in 14. They lost. They beat the Broncos the year. We are not far removed from the Seahawks being on the Super Bowl stage. And you brought up a couple franchises that, yes, the buzz and the juice would be so much higher if a Buffalo or a Chicago or a Detroit or, one of these teams that hasn't been to the promised land in a while. I think that you're right. It plays in.
In addition to what you're saying about not having the real megastar quarterbacks,
right?
Talk about down the line now. What about other star players on the rosters that,
look,
with there's no big personality standing out that I'm aware of or I'm interested in. And I think that's another part of it, because usually on other teams, like I said, whether it was Gronk and Brady, you know what I'm saying? Or,
correct.
You could go down, like if you had Nakua and say Stafford in it this
sure
year, you'd have like a 1-2 punch. I don't know if there's anybody really talking about the secondary and the third.
You look at the last few,
stars.
I think we've had so much Kansas City in this game also. So we've had so much Mahomes and Kelsey
Yeah.
and all these things. And those guys are such big stars and such big personalities. Eagles last year, Barkley, huge star, Hurts.
Yep.
That, there's so much. The Sirianni's a little bit of an oddball. You had some things with that. Just looking back at the last couple of years, Niners. With Shanahan is a big. There just isn't a lot here now. May's only in his second year, and if May wins this game and the Patriots win, May's getting closer to those guys, but he's not quite there yet because it is still only his second year. He's not at that mega star level. And could this propel him to that? Of course it could. That's part of Super Bowls do that.
So everyone else's dread if a new Patriot dynasty.
Well, right,
begins.
and that's why. And I think I speak for everyone who isn't a Patriot fan. And listen, they're used to this. Patriot fans are used to being the team nobody's wanted to root for, but it's, again, not enough time has passed where people outside the New England Patriot fan base are going to be sitting there embracing the Patriots winning another Super Bowl. If 20 years had passed since Brady and Belichick, oh man, look at this, the Patriots are back, and it's been like 5 years. We're not ready yet for them to be back on the scene. At least I'm not, and I know there's people that agree with me. So, go Seahawks.
Yeah. I wish I had a little
Go
flag
Seahawks.
Here. A little flag here. Go Seahawks.
That's what it comes down to. Go Seahawks for me.
Yeah.
And we'll do tomorrow on the show. We'll do who you got. Then you see who I got. I'll give you some props tomorrow. We'll do some fun stuff with that.
Will the line possibly change tomorrow too? Or
I don't think tomorrow. We've been discussing this on the betting shows. This has been 4.5, and the total's been 45.5 for almost a full week now. The 4.5's been there for over a week. The total's been 45.5 since like Thursday, Friday last week. So that hasn't moved. I don't think when we do this tomorrow, it'll be Saturday and Sunday. Could some things change as we get closer to kickoff? Because this goes with any big game, especially the Super Bowl. The lion's share of the money gets bet Saturday and Sunday going into the game. That's where you get tons of public money and so we haven't gotten there yet in terms of something that could really move the line. But like, people have told me they think the total will go down a little bit more, maybe to 44.5. People think that. I talked to one guy this morning. He thinks that it's going to go down to 3.5. Talked to somebody else who thinks it's going to go to 5.5 the other way. Like there's still a little bit of area where it feels like, because there's that back and forth, that 4.5 might be the number when we get there on Sunday.
So even the line's pretty boring too.
You're not getting that move. Now, look, the one great thing about the Super Bowl, and I'll have some of these for you tomorrow, we could discuss some of them, is you get, thousands and thousands of things you can bet on that you don't normally bet on in any other game during the year. And I am not a coin toss guy. I ain't going to sit there and bet on the coin toss. And people love to have fun and bet on what color Gatorade they're going to dump on the guy's head at the end of the game. And listen, all fun bets. If you want to get involved in them. If you can't really, I know you definitely can't bet on the Gatorade in New York. So you got to be outside of New York. There's certain states have different rules. Oh yeah, you can't bet on the Gatorade in New York. You can't bet on MVP in New York.
I had no idea.
You cannot bet on anything in New York that is voted on by people. So there's no MVP votings, no awards, no anything like that. New York has not, since New York's been legalized, they have not allowed any awards to be voted on.
Only New York, or there are other states?
Every state has their own laws. So
Okay.
New Jersey you can, Connecticut you can. Every state's got their own thing. New York and many other states, you can't bet on any colleges that are in that state. Like in New York, you can't bet on St. John, Syracuse, Army, etc. Jersey has that as well. You can't bet on Seton Hall and Rutgers. And so every state has different laws. That's not something that's universal to everyone. But depending on where you are, you can bet on this stuff. Or you can go to, obviously, Johnny Knuckles and the Barber, and you could go the Barber, and you could go bet on it there. That's where you could probably bet on how long the national anthem is.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big one every year. So this has become a bit of a thing now, especially since everyone always wants an edge. So people stake out the sound checks, see how long it takes the sound check. This was, I forget the year I was at.
You got to be kidding me.
So the year I was in LA.
Scouts for the freaking national anthem?
Oh, the year I was in LA, that was Rams and Bengals. I off the top of my head, I don't remember who did the national anthem. But I was there at this Radio Row, and somebody came up to me and was like, blah, 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 is clocking over for the anthem. I go, what are you talking about? And they were like, they've been doing it in rehearsals and sound checks. And this was off the air. This was a conversation. This wasn't something we were talking about on the shows or anything. But I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, going to go way over 2 minutes, the national anthem.
That's a rip.
Sure enough, Paulie, way over 2 minutes. And I forget, I'd have to look up who did the national anthem that year. But it was, so this is a thing. Like, and, you know, I saw one book that had it this morning, and it even says, like, no bets after rehearsal or something like that. So they're closing it after because they're, you know, this Charlie Puth, you know, this guy who's doing the anthem. He's done interviews saying he really wants to jazz it up. Big piano solo and all that. And so you can bet on just about anything, pal.
Crazy.
This is how long the anthem will be.
The anthem. That's definitely that's a trip.
That's
and you go to one specific, but that's not like going to be on like FanDuel.
No. That's what I mean. That's not something. Now, I have not looked at every state. I don't think the anthem
is listed as a professional.
The Gatorade is.
Okay.
If you go to New Jersey, FanDuel, DraftKings, the Gatorade's there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the anthem is more an offshore Johnny Knuckles go to the barber type of bet. I could be wrong. If you're in a state that it is listed on your board, let me know. I am not sure if that's an actual legitimate
Johnny
thing.
Knuckles.
Johnny Knuckles.
Love it.
Get yourself a bet there. So it is Super Bowl week. Everybody's excited. They're all hawking their products. Joe's there with the Guinness. I see him now. Montana's got the Guinness out. He's going to walk around to every table with that big 6-pack of Guinness. He's going to put it down. God bless Joe. He'll be doing that, and everyone else will be doing it all week.
That's a good gig.
Did you watch any of the flag football and the tug of war last night for the Pro Bowl?
No, I did not.
Okay, good.
I had better things to do, honestly. You know,
they need to.
No offense there, but
they need to get rid of it.
Yeah, well,
they stopped playing the game a few years ago. No one goes. That's why Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders were AFC Pro Bowl quarterbacks last night at the flag football game.
Okay.
No, everyone says no. Everyone just whoever they name as the Pro Bowl team, give them their bonuses because that's the only reason why they still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe bring them out on stage at their award show they'll do tomorrow night and say, here's our Pro Bowl guys this year, and that's it. Do not embarrass everyone with the flag football and the tug of war and the 12th guy on the list being sent out to the game. It's the dumbest thing ever.
I mean, as kids, when they used to play the game, I remember there was interest in it. You know, there was,
it was because they always went out to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it looked cool. And everybody
guys did play back.
And they seemed laid back. They had the lays on. They were like having a great week. And then.
And I remember watching games years ago, the Pro Bowl games.
It used to be, look, it never mattered, but the guys would go out there and just, it'd be like a week off. They'd bring the families, vacation, Hawaii. Part of it was that stadium got in real bad condition, and they're, the Hawaii school the football team doesn't even play there anymore. They got their own stadium. Aloha Stadium got real bad in terms of how old it was. And and then they started trying to do it in the week off between the Super Bowl, and that's impossible for guys to fly to Hawaii and then come back to the Super Bowl. So a lot of factors laid into it, changing the way and evolving the way that it has. Guys also didn't start caring. Look, this goes for every all-star game in every sport. As we've gotten further and further into the era of the more and more money that these guys make, and the more and more, there's less and less desire for them to participate in these things. And I think you could say the same thing about the NHL, the NBA, and the MLB All-Star game.
Did you think about Edwin Diaz going back to the World Baseball Classic?
I figured he would maybe sit that one out after what happened last time. You would think that he'd sit it out. You're pumped for that. That's coming.
I am.
We're ready for the WBC.
I can't wait for baseball to come back.
We got to fly the American flag at the Olympics first.
Yes, we do.
Before we get there. We have to do all of those things. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio. We're at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Paulie's going to tell you what's going on at Borrelli's. And then when we come back from that, we are going to do a couple other football things. Both the Giants and the Jets have new offensive coordinators.
Yes.
Just hired within the last 24 hours, both of them. And then we've got hockey to talk about. Paulie, a big winner in the Who You Got for the ratings for the Stadium Series. I will say, if you would have told me that it was going to be that kind of game with a goalie fight, I probably would have took the over too, but great night for them. We'll discuss all that. But first, Paulie, what's going on at Borrelli's?
All right, we are broadcasting live, as we always do every Wednesday and Thursday, right here from Borrelli's Taproom in the great city of Long Beach, New York, on Long Island, 912 West Beach Street. Get on down here. It's a great place, not only for food and drinks, but sports, comedy, live music, and special theme nights, dinners, and everything else. So here's what's going on this weekend at Borrelli's, starting tomorrow night. Brand new carnivore night right here at Borrelli's. $42.99 dinner. Veal chop, choice of veal chop.
Carnivore night.
Yeah, buddy. Bring the choppers down. Your choice of a veal chop dinner, a pork chop dinner, and a steak dinner with salad and dessert, all for $42.99 right here at Borrelli's. And it's going to be every Thursday down here. So come on down. You're hungry for some meat? Come down to Borrelli's, and you get it every Thursday night for carnivore night. Friday night, the live music returns here at Borrelli's at 7 o'clock on Friday. Logan Wall will be back here playing live, and then DJ Millie will come on after Logan on Friday night. After that, always party night here on Friday and Saturday as well. And Evan Corriga, local big musician here too as well, will be 7 p.m. on Saturday, followed by DJ Sims. And I don't think that's Dave Sims from the Yankees broadcasting.
It's not Dave.
No, it's not Dave. So,
Dave's getting ready to head to Tampa, though.
I don't know if he did that on the side, But
No
DJ
Dave.
Sims will be here Saturday night after Evan Krug at 7 p.m. And then, obviously, Super Bowl Sunday.
Let's go.
The place to be down here in Long Beach at Borrelli's, celebrating all day long with great drink specials and food and game on every TV's, full sound. And in pregame and in and around the halves and everything else, we got DJ Sim and also live music by Sean Jacoby and Ryan Scorano. They'll be here all day starting at 12:30. So big pre-Super Bowl party starts at 12:30 here. Come on down again with DJ Sim and Seth Jacoby and Ryan Scorano right here at Borrelli's. And that's what's going on here this week at the place to be in Long Beach, Borrelli'sTaproom.com.
And I did see, unfortunately, they're not having the polar bear, but they're still going to be partying here. Still going to be open. Ready to go all day long at Borrelli's.
Yeah, that's the kind of polar bear party I want to go to.
Yes.
Where I don't have to run into the water. I just have to run in here.
I'll tell you who was happy. Olivia was happy that they postponed it because she wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
And we did it last year.
Mm-hmm.
And she has softball practice Sunday morning, so she wasn't going to be able to do it. And now she's happy that they've rescheduled it.
All
and
right.
I'm glad that they did too, because I did it last year, and it was like 30, 35 degrees. It was cold, but it's supposed to be like 10 on Sunday. So
No thanks.
I'm fine.
No thanks. What has got to be somewhere around 65, 70 for me to jump
No
into?
30, 35 for you?
No.
I can't get you in?
Nah.
I mean, it's going to be March now. They rescheduled it for, so
Nah.
you can get in there in March.
No. Nah.
Come on.
Well, I'm one of those toe touching to the water kind of guys.
I think
and
it's
if
Selection
cold, I ain't
Sunday
going in.
too. I think I saw they rescheduled it for a Selection Sunday. It might be that day. I have to
Really?
look. I think so. I think it lines up. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Oh,
though.
so
All
they
right.
so they are technically rescheduling.
Oh, yes.
the dive.
Oh
in,
yeah,
the jump
March,
in.
middle of March, right, Tommy? Thumbs up from time. Middle of March, I believe, is what March 15th,
15th.
which I do believe is Selection Sunday.
And
So-
Tommy, is there going to be another polar bear party day?
yeah.
So you're going to get two polar bear parties.
Two polar bear
Borrelli's.
parties here at Borrelli's. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio here, of course, at Borrelli's on the island in Long Beach. All right. Little local news on the football side as well. Both the Jets and the Giants have found offensive coordinators. Just want to check. Okay, February 4th. I'm just making sure. It took a little while. Well, the Giants, not really. I mean, the Giants had a guy. Harbaugh thought it was going to be Monken, and then Monken ended up getting the Cleveland Brown job. So they had to pivot a little bit here. And they pivot to Matt Nagy, who, of course, has been with the Chiefs the last couple years as the offensive coordinator. He was the head coach of the Chicago Bears before that. Before that, he was with the Chiefs and had a big hand in them drafting Patrick Mahomes, which was one of Nagy's claims to fame, why he got the Bear job to begin with. I have seen people drag this, Paulie, over the last 24 hours as a bad move, and how could it? Matt Nagy, guess what? He's not the head coach.
Exactly.
Okay? He's not the head coach. I think that a guy, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I would never want him to be a head coach of my team. He did an awful job as a head coach with the Chicago Bears. Completely understandable in that aspect. But this is a guy who is highly recommended and trusted by Patrick Mahomes. That's enough for me.
He's had a little bit of success.
That's enough
Yeah.
for me as making him an offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
We talk all the time about how guys are better coordinators than they are head coaches. I think this guy fits in. Now, was he calling the plays? Andy Reid is obviously always the main play caller for Patrick Mahomes, but he is very involved. Oh, the Steeler got the Steeler hat on. Big Mike in town now. Look out. See, this is why we love doing the show at Borrelli's. Anything can happen. Not a bad hire, and I think a good guy. You talk about a guy who was a part of the Patrick Mahomes drafting and development in Kansas City. For him being a part of the next step of the Jackson Dart era, I think it's a good hire.
Yeah, and I think with Harbaugh and a guy like Jackson Dart too, and an experienced guy like Nagy and stuff, and you know, he just seems like a decent guy and somebody that that can work with this kind of an offense. So, I mean, more than anything, as a Giant fan, like I said, you nailed it. He's not the head coach, but you're getting a guy who's come in with a lot of success and working with one of the best. And if you're grooming a brand, a young quarterback who's actually looking pretty good after his first year, I think it's a win as a Giants fan. I'm all for it. Look, I mean, we're not in like the Jets situation. We're not in like the Arizona Cardinals situation. You know what I'm saying? The Giants have a good squad. They've got a great guy at the helm right now, and I think anybody that comes in that Harbaugh is picking is a compliment to him, and I think they're going to do a great job. So I'm good, man. I'm welcome aboard. Let's go.
Welcome aboard, Matt Nagy, new offensive coordinator for the New York Football Giants. As far as the other side of Jersey, in Florham Park, look, I know it gets tired of saying, but the Jets always jet. The Jets always jet. They did hire Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator.
Do you know that guy by any chance?
I know Frank.
Really?
You know how much I love Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
And look, out of all the names that they were interviewing for this job, the Darrell Bevels and the Greg Romans and all these other guys, I think Frank's a very good offensive mind. He has a long history in the NFL. He took a year off from the NFL last year to be the interim coach at Stanford on the college level. He's been a head coach in the NFL, of course, Carolina and Indy. You look at what he's done as an offensive coordinator in the NFL. I did see some people try to poke some holes this morning. Well, the only times that his offenses were really good is when he had really good quarterbacks. And I got news for you. That's part of the game for anyone, is that you need to have a good quarterback to make your offense run, no matter who you are. So that is what it is. I don't have a problem with Frank Reich. His problem is that he's probably going to need a job again in a year because Aaron Glenn's going to be out of town.
Well, I was going to say, Frank Reich's problems now is that his problem is Aaron Glenn.
Well, Aaron Glenn's got a problem too. And look, there was a big story with the Jets yesterday, which actually my good buddy Sean Marash broke on WFAN with the GM Muji. Has been telling people how bad it is to work for the Jets, and that Aaron Glenn went to Woody Johnson to try to get money for Wink Martindale, and Woody told him, "No, I'm paying you enough money. You call the defensive plays." And I know there's been a lot of people kind of disputing these things that Sean said. I'll back my guy. I believe it, and you want to know why I believe it? Because it's what I said at the start of this. The Jets always jet.
Yeah, they're a dysfunctional organization.
Correct. So hearing stories like Aaron Glenn went to get money to hire Wink Martindale and Woody Johnson saying no because, he's paying you enough money, you go call the defense. I believe that. To hear that Muji after a year is already, telling people. And look, there's been, I saw, Sean said he wasn't at the Senior Bowl. People talked at the Senior Bowl about it, whatever. The story's believable. It's the Jets.
Absolutely.
So until the owner is gone or he starts being an ambassador in another European country again, it is always going to be like this for the Jets. Bad news for you. It's just the way of the world. And the unfortunate thing for Frank Reich is he's going to be part of when they purge this group out.
All he's got to do is stay down by his side of the sideline, and he'll be all right.
run a good offense, and maybe they won't have. Well, look, I think that we still don't know the answer to this question, and we won't until next month. Who's playing quarterback for them next year?
Like the old French goaltender from Slapshot, right?
Right.
Who the quarterback?
Who the quarterback?
The quarterback.
Who the quarterback? Look, it is what it is. That's guys get hired and fired because of quarterbacks all the time, and right now, they don't got one.
It's just been a long, long time since you can't. It's very hard to talk about the Jets in a positive light about anything. You'd like to be happy for them, but it's hard, Mike. It's just hard to really talk about good things about the Jets.
There's nothing good to say. It's just unfortunate.
And we're not even Jets fans. What's it like being a Jets fan?
I can't imagine it. I can't. And this is coming from someone who also, Bills have never won anything. But man, the Jets
had a hell of a lot more success.
The Jets they torture these poor people. And anytime you hear a questionable story involving the Jets organization, you should believe it.
Yes.
You should believe it. But you just should, because that is what it is, whether you like it or not.
Was Rex Ryan the last time they got into the
They have the longest
playoffs?
playoff drought in the NFL right now, which, yes, the back-to-back AFC title games for Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez, which was 9 and 10, I guess.
And then prior to that, you're going back to Parcells and Testaverde?
Herm made it. Herm made it.
Herm
Can't forget Herm.
Oh, man, his press conferences were the best.
Herm was great. Herm got him in a couple times to the playoffs. So,
right.
But this has been a very long stretch of just awfulness.
Yeah.
And it ain't changing right now until you tell me who's going to be taking the snaps and who I see is going to be taking the snaps. That's just, it is what it is for them. So God bless and good luck.
Yes, indeed.
To the New York Jets and their faithful going forward. All right. Let's do some hockey now.
Hey, real quick, before we jump to the podcast.
Sure.
One question on the talk about the Raiders' potential coach.
Yes, Kubiak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
a distraction?
I'm not so much. My question is not so much about the distraction. My question is, because I forgot, is when are they allowed to discuss?
They were allowed to have one more interview with him during the bye week.
Okay.
Which I believe they had on Saturday. Okay. Because that's when the stories came out that it's basically a done deal and that he's going to be the coach, which means I'm sure at the end of that meeting, everybody said, we'll see you in 10 days and we'll make this official.
Gotcha.
Because they can't make that official until the Super Bowl is over. You could, depending on how the game goes, if they win the game, you could probably see it the next morning. If they lose the game, it'll probably be a half an hour after the game's over, whatever it is. He's going to be the Raider coach, Clint Kubiak.
And how do you feel about that for the Raiders?
Look, I think it's a good situation for him. I know the Raiders have not been a good situation for a lot of people, but when you're getting a clean slate with a brand new number 1 overall quarterback that you're going to take, and I think it's a better situation when you are going to be coming in at the same time as the quarterback. It allows you to grow the quarterback. It allows you to grow. It seems like Brady's going to have a little bit of a bigger hand in things.
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat. I'll be interested in. I'll look forward to watching the Kubiak Fernando Mendoza football team.
Okay. Look, I think he's
Raiders. Bring back the pride.
He has done a phenomenal job with the Seahawks this year. He's done a great job at his stops before that too. He was going to get eventually a head coaching job. And look, this is also another one of those teams. We talked at the beginning of the show about how we don't have franchises that haven't been here in a while. We haven't had, classic franchises and that. This is another team that, just like the Bears, etc., if you're the guy that brings the Raiders back into the fold as being a legitimate, comparable NFL franchise again, winning playoffs, maybe Super Bowl. If you're the guy that does that and in that town, Now in Vegas, your sky's the limit.
Kubiak and Fernando put a nice shine on the Raiders, and they put Carroll and the whole everything else in the past. And like I said, I'm interested. I think that's a great combo.
Being a fresh start is huge.
Yeah,
it's a huge thing. Have the Raiders done things the right way? Look, since they got to Vegas,
a lot of folks from Indiana are going to be going to Vegas games.
What happened with Gruden.
Yes,
Bisaccia went in there, and that he was the interim coach, and he did a hell of a job. Then McDaniels, Antonio Pierce. I mean, look, Pete, I love Pete Carroll, but that's a tough spot for him going in. Now, if Pete was coming in with the brand new number 1 overall quarterback, maybe things would have been different for him.
I don't know.
The team
Pete Carroll lost me in the Super Bowl years ago. He lost me.
So the game has passed him by, and that was proven this year.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Yeah. Fresh mind.
Phenomenal job at USC, too, man. That was some great football.
Great young offensive guru in Kubiak getting his first head coaching job with the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who just won the Heisman in the national championship. It's a great situation. Great city.
If the Seahawks win the damn thing, that's another thing they got.
Yeah.
Put a shine on it. The hire.
Look,
even more reason for me now to root for the Seahawks.
And Arizona hired
Raiders.
LaFleur's brother.
I just found my angle to enjoy this game now and look forward to it and root for the Seahawks.
Kubiak. Okay.
And the Raiders.
Whatever makes you excited for this game, because it's pretty rare. It's hard to do.
Now I'm in. Now I'm ready to make plans.
It's hard to get excited for this game. So if you have found something that gets your juices flowing here, then God bless you.
Now I got a reason.
Pucks.
Yes.
We're almost there. 2 days left in the NHL before they shut down for Milan and the players head over for the Olympics.
Which is a great break for some teams. And
now, there are some teams, man, they are just on red hot fire right now that probably don't want 3 weeks off.
One of them plays around here.
Well, I wouldn't put the Islanders in that conversation. They had just lost a couple games before they lost to Nashville. They were awful in that Nashville game Saturday night. They lost awful in DC on Monday night. It was a good win over the Penguins last night. Huge comeback in the third. Barzal was excellent
last night, man.
Horvat was excellent. They play the Devils tomorrow night to end things out for the stretch.
They got to win that game.
I saw this stat this morning. If the Islanders beat the Devils tomorrow night, first time in Islander history, they will sweep the Rangers and the Devils in the season series in the same year. And think about that. 80s teams didn't do it. I mean, I'd rather do what the 80s teams did than this stat, but still, first time ever they would sweep the Rangers and the Devils in the regular season series.
Bravo. Do they get a
no banners for that?
No, nothing.
No banners, no parades, none of that. But I thought it was an interesting note that they did that. It would be nice for them to go in with a win tomorrow night.
Well, if this is the year, I mean, they're taking full advantage. The Islanders are taking full advantage of the state of not only the Rangers, but the New Jersey Devils as well. So this is the year to do it, man.
I agree. And look, you're right. I think the 3 weeks off will help the Islanders because of the rest factor for a few of their guys, especially Schaefer. I know we've brought this up a lot. I think it's going to be big for him. With the amount of games and the amount of minutes that he's played, to get 3 weeks off is going to be huge. I think it's big for Sorokin. I think it's big even for Barzal. Remember, Barzal's been banged up a lot the last couple years. I think it'll be a nice little recharge for him over the next 3 weeks. Horvat's obviously going there to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a little bit of a different story. I'm really, really great all the season so far. I mean, you look 55 games in, the Islanders have been more than anyone could have hoped for this year.
Man,
but the teams that really don't want, if I'm Buffalo right now, the last thing I want is 3 weeks off. If I'm Columbus right now, the last thing I want is 3 weeks off. If I'm, there's a few teams that are just, even the Lightning have been unbelievable. Buffalo was under a minute away from getting a win in Tampa last night. Would have been 21 out of 26 or something like that. And they gave up that goal in the final minute and then lost in overtime to the Lightning. Kucherov's got 60 points in the last month. Kucherov's been insane for Tampa.
We're looking at a Tampa-Rado series again.
Hey, look, I don't know. But I'd be careful with the Rado side. I know that they were on this historic pace for the first 3.5 months of the season. they've had some injuries here, and there's been some cracks in the armor. And I still don't know. Now, they won it with Kemper a few years back. So it's not like they can't win it with anyone in goal. Nothing against Darcy Kemper. I don't know if their goaltending with Blackwood and Wedgie and all. I don't know if their goaltending's up for 16 wins in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm not sure. Are they just going to outscore everybody every night? Is that what the trick's going to be, I guess?
It's their MO, man.
Not many teams have won the cup having to win 5-4 every night.
I mean, that's how they play. I mean, and Rado has had to play like that for a long time.
But what's happened the last few years when they've seen a team like Dallas in the postseason? You know, that they get grinded down and there's no more 5-4 games. Mm-hmm. You know, these games become 3-2.
Make a good point.
And it's a little bit tougher. So Colorado, obviously great team, but I'm not
Has there been a big shift
there
recently?
yet. Well, Minnesota has been, since the Quinn Hughes trade, since the trade for Hughes, Minnesota has the best record in the Western Conference since trading for Hughes. Now, I think they need one more thing. They need one more guy. And listen, this is hard for them to do because they just gave up so much for Hughes. So I don't know what's left in the cupboard for them to do it. I think they need one more guy up front who could score.
A Russian guy?
Maybe. Is it? I don't know if they have to get
another Russian guy
enough to get him. They gave up a lot for Hughes. They gave up a lot of their farm.
I don't know. It seems right now that the Rangers might take a.
They could add one more.
The Rangers might take a bag of pucks in a couple programs right now.
They had one more offensive piece. I could get back them. I really could. Let's talk about this game Sunday night.
You got it, man.
And good job by you. You got the who you got for the over on the ratings.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to be that high, pal.
2.1 million or 2.2 million, whatever it was.
Which is funny because when you look at other sports, especially at the NFL, 2.1 million is
it's nothing. I know. The NFL's 39 and 41 million, and you get 2.2.
And everybody's going, ooh,
wow,
2.1 million on a Sunday.
Look at that. It's what a great job. And I didn't even go see what the rating was for the Nick Laker game on NBC.
And you know, what is the highest rated game, regular season game on cable? You know what I'm saying? And they've been playing them on cable for
forever. But think about what they needed to get here. Like,
man.
First of all, and we thought this was going to happen last week when we left on Thursday. Gary and them got so lucky with the weather. It was the coldest night in decades in Tampa. So they had, and it was the perfect weather. Like, super cold when they play these games in Buffalo or Pittsburgh, or, it could be 0, and that's tougher. 30s was it's like the perfect weather to be able to play that game in. So they got that. The jerseys I thought were awesome. The game was awesome, which is the most important thing. A goal 11 seconds in from the Lightning. The Bruins get up 5-1. The Lightning come back. You had a goalie fight. You had all of these things. Overtime winner, incredible game.
I got a funny suspicion you're going to probably see a lot more goalie fights in the NHL
what it did
season.
for the ratings.
Well, this is the thing.
Well, look, I know Gary probably cringed in the press box.
No, he didn't.
Goalie fight.
No, he
can't have
cringe.
that.
Look, I tell you what, at that moment when that happened, all the platforms in sync.
Well, that's where they got they got a big jump from that.
I mean, it was like,
and the thing is,
you're going to tell me the content people are not going to sit there and go,
well,
look what just happened.
Well, right.
So let's have a goalie
fight.
But
let's also think about the timeline, because the goalie fight, goalie fights turn this game on. There's some chippiness, right?
Yeah.
And then when people go to turn it on, as they're turning it on from the goalie fight, Tampa starts this massive comeback. So that rings people in too. Like, wow, are they going to come back from 5-1? So the goalie fight got people in. And then Tampa, as they're coming through and making this huge comeback.
What was the score in the game at
I think it was
the goalie fight?
4-1 when the goalie fight happened.
Yeah, and by the way, not really smart, to be honest with you, as far as those two goaltenders and how important they are to their franchise.
Vasilevsky's been
really not that
guy
smart,
basically hasn't lost since November. I mean, he's been
because when those guys fight, the face masks come off.
Right.
And
you're right. Remember,
it
doesn't happen very often that you see a goalie fight. Some guys have gotten, Rick DiPietro's career changed when he got in that goalie fight in the Penguin Islander. That changed his career, that when he got hurt in that goalie fight. you know,
It's monumental.
it does
Still
have.
getting paid though. He's all right.
Well, Rick made. I understand, but that he got hurt badly in that goalie
Like
fight.
I said, he was a big part of their franchise, the future, and everything.
Right.
And look what happens. Like
right.
a lot. Look,
Now that might have been Rick had other injuries before that. Let's be fair. That
Yeah.
hurt him more. His knee injuries hurt him more. But that was at a little bit towards the middle of the back, and that kind of finished him when he got hurt in that goalie fight. But either way, all these guys, they don't bring anybody on the couch here. Everybody's on the podium. Let's get somebody a chair here at some of these.
Mike is looking at the NFL coverage.
Watching the Radio Row coverage. Let's get some people a chair. But God, listen, who am I to?
It looks like a
tell
town
people-
hall.
Hey, who am I to stop and say, hey, because they do an unbelievable job.
I'm sorry I couldn't get us out to Frisco this week, buddy.
Wow, look, there's always next year.
There's always next.
There's
We
always
just
next
started,
year.
so
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
see what
it's all
happens.
right. They're in LA next year.
So in
SoFi.
recap, NHL got all it wanted out of this game.
Everything they could have won.
You
It was
know.
bigger than the Winter Classic.
Yes.
It was bigger than the Winter Classic.
And you got the game that you wanted, but like I said, I mean, the Bruins were making this ugly for Tampa and everybody. I got to tell you, when I looked up and it was 3-1 Boston already, I
Yeah.
was like, this game is toast. It's toast, and I went away from it. And like I said, then all of a sudden, at the same time, in capital letters, every account with 3 exclamations behind it, like it was in sync. Goalie fight.
I'm going back now to see. Actually, I'm sorry. It was 5-2 at the goalie fight.
Okay.
But still, I'm right about the timeline. And after the goalie fight, Tampa had a bunch of power plays after that.
Well, Boston play. Let's talk about how bad
They were
Boston played.
stupidity. And they gave them a bunch of power plays at the end of that second period. And that's why it was 5-4 going into the locker room.
Bruins got a little taste of the
So it helped
New
that
York
the
Rangers
game
disease.
began. So 5-2, and it was 5-4 a couple minutes after the goalie fight because they got a couple power play goals. But what a game and what a night for the NHL. And they just need to, find a way to bottle that and
like I said, they did get lucky. They got very lucky with the weather. It all warmed out.
Got lucky
it
with
all lined
everything.
up. Hey, look, bravo. We're big hockey guys. We are definitely critical about them, because it's just a sport that we love, but compared to how they market it and its success compared to the other top sports, here in the country and everything else. The jerseys were great. I thought the yellow of the Bruins was beautiful on the ice. The whole Buccaneer thing and the Pirate thing, I know the Tampa and the jerseys were beautiful too with the TBL on it, but they also have like a skull and hockey sticks logo too. Like I said, that would have made more sense to have that logo on that jersey since they went with the whole pirate theme at at the Buccaneer Stadium and everything else. But hey, look, bravo! They got the ratings up to 2.1 million, which is like a practice for the NFL.
And I saw that I wanted to go and
HBO.
see when the men start in Milan. They actually don't start until next Wednesday, the 11th, is when the first.
Well, they got to get all
men's
their
hockey
things in
game is.
order.
Well, you figure they finish
travel.
Thursday, they got to fly out. They're going to
Yeah.
get the team. They give them a couple days to get acclimated to the time change, all of that. The women do start tomorrow. The women's hockey, which, by the way, the U.S. women favored over Canada to win the gold medal.
Every other year, it just changes.
I know, but
Flips.
this year
Yeah.
the U.S. is favored over Canada.
I think they
in
won
the
juniors.
women's.
I think they won. They won the World Cup. I think they played the World Cup
Right.
recently.
Right. Well,
Hey,
yeah.
lady, look, it's always USA and Canada. So let's, you don't have all the other country national teams represented very well as far as the women are concerned. I mean, it's good hockey. Our girls and the Canadian girls are very good, but it's the same 2 squads every year going for the gold medal.
Right.
In
It's
international competition as far as, the women are concerned. So it's like I said, it's either going to be Canada or USA.
right.
Year. This year,
Well-
as far as the men's, you're going to have a great squad from Finland. You're going to have a great squad from Sweden. It's kind of mirror a little bit of the juniors, in terms of Czech Republic and even the Swiss teams and the German team, because you're going to have they're more competitive. I'm sorry, Mike. What you going to say?
The Canada beat U.S. and the women in 22 in the gold medal game.
Okay.
U.S. beat Canada in 2018 in the gold medal game.
Okay, that's the flip.
Canada beat U.S. in 14
Mhm.
in the gold medal game. Canada beat U.S. 2010 in the gold medal game.
2 in a row.
Canada beat Sweden in 06 in the
3-0.
gold medal game. Canada beat U.S. 02 in the gold medal game.
Piling up the gold.
USA beat Canada in the first one, 98 in Nagano. So U.S. has beaten them twice in the
Okay.
gold medal game, and they've lost to them 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
And I think this year they do have the better team.
Yeah, and they are favored as such.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. So we have even the women getting going here tomorrow. For I don't think the U.S. women play till Friday or Saturday, but the hockey.
Have you looked at any idea of how what's the time schedule as far as these hockey games and how are they doing at this Olympics as far as the prelim games, the first rounds? How soon do we get to those knockout rounds before we get to the?
Well, yeah, the
gold medal
prelims,
game?
like for the men, it starts on the 11th, Wednesday the 11th, and I believe that they do the prelims through. I'm gonna say. I don't have it on here. Well, the final is obviously Sunday the 22nd. So
Sunday
figure
the
a week.
22nd.
It's pretty fat. You know, they pack it in pretty quick. I don't have the full schedule in front of me. ESPN.com, bad job.
But that's the gold medal game?
The last day of the Olympics, Sunday the 20th, whatever that means, 22nd, 23rd, whatever that's 22nd. That's the gold medal game, Sunday the 22nd. 2 weeks from this Sunday.
You know what we're all open for.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I have not seen the groups.
I'll give you some of that tomorrow.
I guess we'll have to follow on that because
I'll give you some of that
can
tomorrow.
the U.S. and Canada end up in the gold medal? Are they going to be in the same group? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Other things here. Knicks continue to win.
Yeah, 7 in a row.
They're 7 in a row.
NBA
They
trade deadline.
smashed the Wizards last night. They play the Nuggets tonight at home.
Well, not only have they been winning, they've been putting up tons of points.
Yes. And it helps. Listen, when they've played a couple of ham and egger teams here recently. You know, the Wizards suck. Although they did beat the Lakers on Sunday. The Lakers are, as my buddy who I do Bet Rivers with, Doug Kazarian, says, they're more bark than bite. The Lakers, they're not really. They're not.
I watched some of that game, the Knicks and the Lakers. I thought everybody's raving about the NBC production. They're getting the game back and stuff.
Good for them.
Wasn't very impressed with the Lakers. To be honest.
Good for them. Good for them. So Knicks Nuggets tonight. The trade deadline is tomorrow, 3 p.m. East, and there's already been a bunch of trades in the NBA. Harden.
That happens every year.
Harden, it's so.
That happens every year.
bizarre.
Harden's,
And let me tell you, it's unfortunate for the Cavs. They're cursed now. They're finished because when you get Harden, you have no shot of winning. He's never going to win. It is what it is.
Oh man.
And Garland goes to the Clips, which is an interesting mix if he's healthy. I mean, the problem with Garland is he's another guy. He's made of glass. He never plays. He never plays. But you have some teams maybe moving some money around, looking to go
Do you
after
have any
Giannis.
predictions? Do you feel anything major is going to have anything?
I think the only thing that I will tell you that I feel really, really strong about before tomorrow afternoon is I do not think Giannis will be traded.
Okay.
I think that is going to be something that happens in the offseason, after the season. I don't think that there's a lot of teams that can offer more after the year. You know, the NBA has rules about how far out you can offer certain draft picks and things like that. Teams like the Knicks and the Heat would have more draft picks available to them in the offseason than they do right now. So I think that it's too complex of a deal to get done right now.
Think the Knicks do anything?
No. I think the Knicks are going to take this group that they have right now and see what they do. And if it doesn't go well, you could see some major changes in the offseason, whether that's Giannis, whether that's something else. I think that they're going to let this Brunson, Cat, OG, Bridges, Hart, etc. group in what's a little bit of a different and banged up Eastern Conference this year. I think they're going to give them some run to see if they can get to the NBA Finals.
All right.
And if they don't, I think you'll see some moves for them in the offseason. But I think these guys get a shot to go as far as they can.
Man, I think if they just stay healthy, they'll be all right.
Well, look.
For the long haul.
The Pistons have been the best team in the East so far this year, record-wise. They did beat the Pistons last year in the playoffs. It was a hell of a series, and Both teams are a little bit different than they were last year. It would be a fun series. The Celtics have been a lot better than people thought. When they were going to have Tatum all year, people thought that the Celtics were going to be, miss the playoffs, maybe a lottery team. Like Jaylen Brown's been awesome. Everybody, they're right there. And could they beat the Knicks in a 7-game series? Yeah, I think that they could. And who knows? What if they get Tatum back by then? I know they've said he's not going to play, but what if it's the Eastern Conference Finals and he's been cleared and he's been healthy for weeks and he gets back? There's a lot of that. I'd be careful with the Celtics. But other than that, I already told you the Cavs are out now because they have Harden. They're finished. They got no shot. I mean, Toronto, the Knicks own them. Philly, please. Any of these other teams, this is a year where the Knicks should get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
The door is open for them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they do nothing, and I don't think they will in the next day. They are, even if as they are, they're good enough to get to the NBA Finals this year in this Eastern Conference. Now, can they beat anyone on the other side in the finals? Can they beat an Oklahoma City or a Denver? I don't think so. But I think they're good enough to win the East and get there. They're good enough for that.
Yeah, I agree. Again, like I said, if Brunson and these guys,
it'll be a long spring at the Garden.
But they're looking good. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do, especially these last.
At least one team give you a long spring at the Garden.
Yeah.
A Drury out there with the flag.
Yeah, it's man. I mean, they can't. It doesn't look like they could even trade Panarin. What are they going to do?
They're trading Panarin, but then after the Olympics,
doesn't sound like there's a lot of demand for him.
Well, look, I think that part of that, Paulie, is Panarin's fault because he's telling you that he wants. Can you imagine giving Panarin another 4 years at $12 million at his age? I can't. Why would any team want to do that? So that's part of you need to get past that wall before.
So I get real quick on this, and you can tell me why or why not. I just the thought of the reason they took him off the bench here. My thought process is because they had something in the works, right? That's why this whole new thing, the asset management. So you figure something's going to happen. Now it looks like he's not going to get moved before the Olympics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I believe
10,
we've
12
hit
points
that.
out. Maybe he's in the lineup. Maybe he helps the team out a little bit.
I don't think they want him to help the team out. I think that they're
obviously not.
They have made a decision.
But now it looks like they can't move him. Nobody wants him.
They're going to move. He'll be.
Well, they're going to be on the losing end of this thing. They're not going to get the return they want.
Again, if Panarin and his agent are forcing a team to give him another 4 years at $12 million a year, I got news for you. They ain't going to get much for him. And on the other side of the coin, he is going to be a 15 to 20 game rental in playoffs if he doesn't get the extension. So I don't know what. Now there is some look.
Would the Dodgers be interested in
it? You look at some of these. I mean, Brock Nelson was a rental last year. Okay, Colorado in the Islander trade, and I thought the Islanders got some pretty healthy return for Brock Nelson with Richie and a first-round pick. So it's not unheard of that just because the guy's a rental, you're not going to get something really good back. But Brock wasn't running around asking for 4 years at $12 million a year. Also, when he was making, I think they got to get past that. And then it's going to happen. I mean, he's going to be dealt. He's just not going to be dealt till after the Olympics now.
Silly stuff going on there on Broadway. No doubt about it. Any golf tournaments this weekend, buddy?
Hey, one of the best tournaments of the year, the WM Phoenix Open at TPC Scottsdale. This is the Wasted Management Open.
Okay.
This is the one where the crazy stadium hole 16. The par 3 where everybody's drinking. They throw the beer cans when everyone gets the hole in one.
We got to go next
It's a wild tournament. Tees off tomorrow. I like Maverick McNeely. I like Brooks Koepka. I like Nick Taylor. I like Steven Jaeger bombs. There's a few guys that I like in it for that. So, yes, I'm pumped for the Waste Management. I will make Tommy put it on tomorrow when we're here. Since that'll be good and going.
We'll have a pint.
And watch the WM Phoenix. Why don't you give everybody what's happening at Borrelli's before we get out of here?
All right. Once again, we broadcast live from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach at 912 West Beach Street. Brand new debut of Carnivore Night here. That's Thursday night here at Borrelli's. Every Thursday night starting tomorrow. $42.99 dinner. Choice of a
Carnivore
veal
night.
chop dinner, a pork chop dinner, or a steak dinner that comes with a salad and a dessert. Right here, Thursday nights at Borrelli's. Carnivore Night. Bring those choppers down here to Borrelli's. Live music returns here at Borrelli's this weekend. Friday night, Logan Wally at 7 p.m. DJ Millie follows his performance after him. On Saturday, Evan Karuga will be back here at 7 p.m. with DJ Sims spinning the tunes after Evan on Saturday night. Big Super Bowl Sunday, which now I am excited for, rooting for the Hawks and Kubiak. Go to the Raiders and work with Fernando Mendoza. Come on down here. The Polar Dive has been canceled, but they're still going to have the Polar Bear Party here. And along with that, you're going to have a pre-Super Bowl party all day long. DJ Sim's going to be in here at 12:30. Live music throughout the day with Sean Jacoby and Ryan Scarano, and they're going to play in between quarters and halves and all that stuff. So just a great time here. The place to be down in Long Beach at Borrelli's Taproom on Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday. Boom. And there's always great takeout orders for Super Bowl too. Just call up Borrelli's Taproom, go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com, and you can get great wings and all kinds of great food for your Super Bowl party if you are staying home on Sunday.
If you are, that is for sure. All right, we will be back tomorrow, noon East, right here from Borrelli's in Long Beach on the island. Super Bowl 60. Who you got? Props. I'll give Paulie some options for some other dopey bets. The Gatorade, I'll give him some options for the Gatorade. We'll see if he can get that going. Last day of the NHL schedule before the winter break, or the Winter Olympics break. Pitchers and catchers are around the corner. Quiet for the Yankees. All quiet.
We don't need anybody.
Don't need anyone. We got the team. They got the team they want.
Booney was on the radio the other day.
I saw him. He's right. I love it. He gave. I love this idea that I don't make any of the moves, and someone's calling me in the middle of the game. I'm never going to be able to shake that. But it's not true.
Leave Booney alone.
Enough of this guy. All right, Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio. We're back tomorrow. Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Have a great day.